Welcome to my office. And more specifically, welcome to my succulent garden. I've been growing succulents for a really long time. However, over the years, it's been more and more difficult for me to keep up with their extensive care needs. They do really well in a lot of light, and when you don't have that, they can get a bit leggy. So I recently installed a grow light, which is really cool because now I can keep up with the amount of light that they need in a low light environment. They've been under this grow light for about 2 weeks, and I am ready to chop them up and make them prettier. They were super leggy before they went under the grow light, and now that they're under the grow light, I'm already seeing increased growth. But I kind of want to start back at the beginning so that they can have nice full pots, and by summer I can bring them outside and they'll look like showpieces. Let's take a closer look. I'm gonna show you the full overview and then we'll break them down plant by plant. First up, we have Kalanchoe Milotai. This succulent is native to southeastern Madagascar. It's covered in hazy green leaves that are scalloped with a dense layer of felt covering them. It's very soft to the touch. Many years ago, when I invested in my first plant haul, I purchased this plant. At the time, it was one large mother plant. She's since passed, but the babies, oh, they're flourishing. But they haven't gotten as much light and as much water as they need. So my plan is to cut them down, propagate them, and make a pot that is much fuller than the current. I like the pot that it's in, but I want it to be more full. I'm gonna use my lighter to disinfect my pruners, and then we're gonna chop. As you can see, I'm starting with a very leggy piece. It's lost all of its lower leaves, which make it a good candidate to be chopped, dropped, calloused, and replanted. I continue this process all around the pot. Some of the pieces have developed aerial roots. These roots are shot out so that the plant can find more moisture, hopefully in the air. Unfortunately, for a lot of my aerial roots, they are dried up. Yes, I know. This baby needs some love. I forgot to set up my plant tray. Protection first. Already, the planter is looking much tidier. The healthy new growth that you can see is from me doing this process before it sat under the grow light. This time, I'll make sure those aerial roots get the water they need. Things can get a little bit messy. I would normally do this outside, but the feels like is in the single digits, so this is what I call winter gardening. We're gonna let these pieces callus over, and then we're just sticking them right back in the soil to fill up the pot. Next up, this pokey succulent is one of my favorites, but it needs some TLC. Yikes. I got this plant from one of the street vendors in New York City on the plant district. It's like one street. And it is called a Starfish cactus, Starfish succulent. I had taken a bunch of cuttings and laid them in the top of the soil, but some of them don't look too hot. I'll start by removing any of the propagations that have not really fully taken off. But as I lift them up, I'm noticing that they're starting at least, but maybe the start is just from being under the grow light. I'm not sure. It seems silly to dispose of them completely, so I will save them off to the side for now. It is a weird looking process when they start to shoot out those roots, huh? Of course, in the mix are some things that are just too unsightly for me to keep. Cleanse! To my surprise, a lot of the cuttings that I previously put in there are growing roots, so those are gonna go right back in. But I think we are going to take out this because this just does not look good. This reminds me of pimple popper content. So gross, but so satisfying. Again, this planter is looking much tidier than before. My propagations are actually looking promising, so they're going right back in. First though, I'm going to remove any excess off of them so they can really focus on putting in those roots. I'm following up with some extra soil. This will help bury some of the premature roots. This looks cool, and now it just needs time to really refresh and fill up. Next up is my fairy castle cactus. I want to repot it in this pot. The root ball is actually really small. I might plant it in this instead. A moment most pleasing to me. This pot is a bit cooler because I made it. I made it in a pottery class. I just spent the time to drill a hole in the bottom so that it has good drainage, but that's cute. I even made a little saucer for it. Next is a fallen warrior. When in Palo Alto, I shop at Brookside Orchids. I love picking up hybrid orchids. They're like mixed dog breeds. Normally, they're pretty resilient. However, this one, unfortunately, just dried up. A backup orchid! This is a baby brassivola. It shoots out these beautiful white flowers that smell like soap. Perfect for this pot and the conditions under the grow light. It recently grew a new green spike. 2 more babies. This little baby cactus. This is from my dear friend Mernal. I will treasure this. I will have it prosper. And I will do everything I can to one day have it flower. I want to get a mini terracotta pot for it, but I don't have one yet. Look at those roots. And lastly, this prop haul. This is where I'm gonna put any kind of prop drops, any kind of miscellaneous succulent leaves that I collect. I'm just gonna stick in here, and then maybe one day we'll get full plants out of this. It's a small but mighty collection so far. Now that we're complete, I've positioned the plants back under the grow light in a new formation this time, aesthetically pleasing. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking, and you can tell that there's some space for maybe more orchids or more succulents or cacti, anything that needs high light and is temperamental and is small. I think this is a good little collection, and I like the different pots underneath here too. Obviously, I want to change those two into some type of natural material, whether it be like a stone or terracotta or some kind of ceramic, potentially. We will see. Also, it'd be really cool to use this space to get the plants to flower and then bring them other places in the house to admire the flowers. That's another idea that I had. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think.